You're listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro, the place to learn about new technology and technological advances before they become mainstream. This special edition 1 episode is sponsored by Cisco, taking your business a level up. Let's get into it.
Welcome back to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. I'm your guest host today, Logan Lyles with Sweetfish Media. We are recording on site in Denver, Colorado here at the Ingram Micro 1 event during the last day of the event here, and we're going to be talking about pre-sales technical solutions. To kick off this conversation, I'm joined by Jay Giron. He is Senior Manager for Solution Design and Services with Ingram Micro. Jay, how's it going today, man?
Great, Logan. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Thank you for taking time out of the event to sit down at the podcast booth. How's the event been for you so far?
It's been fantastic. Engagement's great.
Yeah.
The reseller partners are super engaged this year. So overall, I'm really happy,
Awesome. So let's kick it off for folks. Can you tell me a little bit about Ingram Micro's pre-sales technical solutions program?
Sure. So we actually recently underwent a name change. So we're now Solution Design and Services, the same tech support that people know and love. And we're doing the same thing as far as building quotes and supporting our reseller customers. So our job is really to help support our customers with technology builds for solutions that they don't quite understand. Whereas if someone does security products on a daily basis and one of their end customers has a request for networking, they'll reach out to our team and then we'll help them build out a networking solution.
Yeah, absolutely. So you touched on it there on one scenario, but can you give us some more examples of why a partner would reach out to you and your teams and
Sure.
specific scenarios maybe?
Yeah, so all in, we're around 250 associates between Buffalo, Manila, and Costa Rica. Our team holds roughly 2,400 certifications to support our partners, and we do so roughly 2,500 times a day, building $30 million in quotes, full solutions that go out to them. So on a daily basis, it's pretty daunting. The dollar amounts can be staggering, but it's the team is trained and certified to really help them build specific solutions for what their end user needs. Meaning, our team gets calls. So the way it works is the partner gets a request. They don't quite understand it. What they'll do is they'll call our team, and what we'll do is we'll build them out a quote. But say they come in and they say, hey, I need, a good example is actually started in Ingram Micro in tech support, answering phone calls too long ago. But really, the customer called in and said, hey, I need 48 6-foot patch cables. And I'm like, what are you doing with 48 6-foot patch cables? And the sales rep's like, I really don't know. Because they said they wanted a lot of patch cables. Like, hey, do you think we can get your end customer on the phone? We bring the end customer on. It turns out they're doing a network upgrade, and they didn't need just those cables. Good thing I was actually on Cisco at the time, so built them out a switch, got them over to build out some UC products as well. We changed the patch cables from 6-foot to multiple lengths, different colors. And when they left, it wasn't just that one product they called in they were looking for. They got an entire solution that helped them entrench themselves deeper with their end customer.
Yeah,
and that's the value that we really play.
Yeah, so it's beyond just the quote building. It's taking a step back and let's think strategically about this opportunity. Let's look at everything we could possibly solve for in this situation. What is the customer really trying to do here, right?
Absolutely. And we get those requests. It's, what are you doing with this? All right, and that's something we train all of our technicians to ask is, hey, that's great. What are you doing with that? And when they don't know, we try to get deeper with it. And we also help them understand, one, why we're asking these questions, why it's important to them. And we do have some other examples where we had a great customer that was partnering with us that we were saying, could you work with us to really showcase the value that our solution design and services brings to you? So what they did is they were in growth mode. They split their sales organization in half. Half used our resources and half didn't. So the half that didn't use our resources grew about 13.5%, doing the same thing that they'd always done. The half that did grew 65% and sold 2 to 3 times the products that they were originally selling. Wow. So they got broader, they got deeper, and we all benefited from it. So it was great, and I love talking about that example because it really demonstrates the power that we can bring to our customers.
Yeah, I don't know if there's a better example right there. I mean, those percentages speak for themselves.
Yeah.
How long of a time was that, and what was the size of the sales team?
So
do you remember some of that?
So it was their SMB organization.
Okay.
So it wasn't focused on $1 million accounts, which is also why we use the percentages, where it's like, hey, if we're talking $30,000, well, hey, we got you to $60,000. But if it was, so I'd say from a dollar range, we're probably talking low millions. Don't want to give away who it was, but again, I think it was fairly significant. The sales force was over 30 people.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like, hey, we had 3 people on staff and 2 went
no,
this
I mean,
way.
it's a great sample set, and looking at those percentage differences shows the value. And again, it's about that efficiency, helping, the number of quotes that you mentioned that your team helps to generate, but also taking a step back. What was that question you've trained your team to ask?
Yeah, what are you doing with this?
What are you doing with this?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's a good question for partners to be thinking about as well as they go into their own consultations and their customer conversations as well, right?
Yeah, and we try to impart that on them, and it's, why are we asking you this question? It's like, we want you to get deeper with your customer. And the reality is, if you're not willing to expand your portfolio and get broader and get deeper with your customer set, someone else that's selling that other product, maybe, right? And we offer this to all of our customers. So if your competition is using us, guess what we're going to be asking them? Hey, what are you doing with that?
Right.
And our job is to help them build those solutions and then even train them on it. So we'll leverage the rest of our technical resources at Ingram, whether it's technology consultants, we get people into our business transformation center. We partner really tightly with our manufacturer partners. Like Cisco comes in daily. So I'll name drop Jeff Barnhart's in with our team. He's part of our team. He did grow up there, but he also expanded out from our team, working for Cisco directly now. But the level of engagement and the training that we get from them, it's just indicative of how we can be more successful with our partners.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Jay, we love to ask guests here on B2B Tech Talk one of the things that they see as important, where they see tech going in the next year or so. We've talked about, the move to annuity. We've talked about AI. We've talked about speed of connectivity, security. Any of those things stand out to you as something that, partners should really be thinking about as technology moves forward over the next year, and obviously well beyond that, but it's kind of a short-term future, or something else that you might add to the conversation there?
Yeah, and so I've been at Ingram 14 years, and I've seen a lot. What I really like to watch was cloud go from concept to reality and part of our foundational business now. And then next we have IoT, and IoT's in that transition phase of coming into the, hey, this is reality. Right? How do we demonstrate use cases? How do we start building solutions around that? And bringing that into our team to talk about it, it makes it real. What our team doesn't do well with is fictional or futuristic. If we can't build it and get it working today, we struggle. So I think IoT is huge. I also think going into the AI, I think it was brought up multiple times this week about how that's going to play a part in our future, and that is the evolution of IoT, right? This is where that's going to go to, and as we mainstream IoT now, I think Eric Hembry's doing a great job of getting that going for Ingram Micro. And next is just really looking forward to AI, and ultimately everything is a service, right?
Yeah.
You see it at the cafe outside, everybody talks about it. We're even doing technical resources as a service, where we have a VIP program where we can insert a technical resource at our partners now going forward. So instead of just calling and having one of our technicians, we can assign somebody to an account to help them grow specifically in a new area of business that they're trying to develop into.
Yeah.
So everything is a service.
Yeah, that's a great point, Jay. So on that note, if folks are looking to reach out to you to learn more about the solution design and services team, what's the best way for them to reach out or connect? What resources would you point them to?
So your sales rep. So I'll tell everybody, reach out to your sales rep. You know them, you love them. reach out to them. They'll help you get started. I'm always available, willing to get on calls, meet, greet, whomever. Events like this have been fantastic just to talk about the value that we bring. But you can reach out to me, whether it's email, j.giron@ingrammicro.com, LinkedIn. I answer all those messages. And if you ever correspond with me, I put my contact information on every email I ever send. So I'm always available and trying to help.
I love it. Jay, thank you for taking time out of the event to sit down with me and for being a guest on the show today.
Thank you. This is fantastic.
Awesome, man. Well, that actually wraps it up for another episode here on site at the Ingram Micro 1 event for B2B Tech Talk. If you'd like to continue the discussion, you can follow us at Ingram Tech Soul on Twitter or use the hashtag B2B Tech Talk. Thanks as always for tuning in to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. If you're not yet subscribed, if this is your first time listening, make sure you subscribe and get upcoming episodes in Apple Podcasts or wherever you do your podcast listening.
You've been listening to B2B Tech Talk with Ingram Micro. This special edition 1 episode is sponsored by Cisco. B2B Tech Talk is a joint production by Sweetfish Media and Ingram Micro. Ingram Micro production handled by Laura Burton and Christine Fan. To not miss an episode, subscribe today in your favorite podcast player.